Morning guys and welcome back on my channel. Today we react on how a $20 game destroyed the entire AAA industry from Robbo. Or what's pronounced, I don't fucking know now. But yeah. You heard maybe about Jungle Run, I heard about it too, but I don't play it because I don't have the money for this game. But this is but we don't talk about my financials today, but over how AAA gaming industry are fucked basically. So and then I would say don't talk too much and let's go to the video.
On March 24th, 2025, Schedule 1 was released on Steam. No marketing, no warning.
Before the video continues, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell, and drop a comment. The algorithm loves that. Also make sure to follow me on Twitch. I'm live every weekend, Friday through Sunday, from 6 PM to 11 PM UTC+1. And don't forget to follow me on my social media channels too. Now back to the video.
Have you heard of this new indie game from a one-man dev team that's gotten crazy popular lately?
We're back at it again with another video, Schedule 1.
I didn't expect to find the same sense of cozy escapism in a game about manufacturing and selling drugs in a grimy city, but with Schedule 1, that's exactly what I got.
Schedule 1 is a game about friendship. It's about making connections. It's about starting from the bottom and working your way up. It's a game about drugs.
When I first wrote this episode, Schedule 1 was one of the most played games on Steam, with over 200,000 concurrent.
Over 200,000. Look at it. Look at this here. Players right now, 30,696, and 24-hour peak, 77,091. Holy fucking shit. I didn't know that this game was so popular.
Players. But even after a month, Schedule 1 is still one of the highest selling games on Steam. It was released in the same week as the greatly anticipated Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I make the video about this, but I forgot to activate my voice changer in this case, so this video never comes out. But I heard about this, and what the heck?
And it not only outperformed it, but destroyed it. How did this happen? How did a game with an estimated 400 million...
Wait, what's stand there?
Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it not only outperformed it, but destroyed.
What's that shit? 40 RP, 64K, and 24 RP, 456K. What the actual fuck? No! And this is for this game developed one man, and this year imagine, this game is from one man, I mean really, literally one fucking man. And this year work over hundreds on this, and this game take a strap on fact and fuck Ubisoft with the strap right in the ass.
How did this happen? How did a game with an estimated $400 million budget get outshone in sales, attention, and overall enjoyment by a drug-dealing game made by one single developer?
Yeah. And this dude who developed this game, he is now rich as fuck. I mean, really, rich as fuck.
Schedule 1 is essentially a drug-dealing simulator. Set in the fictional town of Highland Point, its core gameplay loop contains growing, packaging, and selling drugs for a profit. As you increase your output, you grow your customer base to the point where the entire town is addicted to your products. You also start from selling...
Holy fucking shit. Yeah, we talking about the name about drug selling. And so you are not the good guy, definitely. I mean, you are technically water white,
cannabis
so...
to moving on to more hardcore drugs in order to make a larger profit. And your main goal in the entire game is to become the kingpin of Highland Point, having everyone and everything in your control. When reading that aloud, it sounds like the game is pretty serious. But what makes this game so inviting is that even with a subject as heavy as drugs, it doesn't take itself seriously at all.
This game takes the basic idea that goes all the way back to Drug Wars, the game we all had on our TI-86 calculators back in the day, and it combines it with a crafting game and Grand Theft Auto. Kind of a first-person GTA Chinatown Wars, only you're not just selling drugs, you're also manufacturing them. Everything's a little...
So basically you're water white in this case. You're literally water white.
Exaggerated owing to the cartoonish characters, and while the graphics aren't gonna blow everyone away, they're honestly more consistent and solid than you often get with these one-man indie games.
But this carefree style shouldn't discredit how seriously this game commits to the bit. A fun detail in the game is that certain drugs will create different visual effects on the customers, like making someone glow, getting them electrocuted, or even removing one of their eyes to make them look like a cyclops. And the drug dealing process is only one facet of the game. It has a police system, pickpocketing, cars, skateboards, money laundering. It has the full package.
Even repetitive tasks like harvesting reefer and packaging it into little jars for distribution are oddly enjoyable. Watering crops, mixing ingredients, and breaking a freshly baked tray of crystal all feel really satisfying and lulled me in.
Blue map. I said blue map. Water white. You're
to a
water white.
contented, meditative state that almost made me forget I was committing numerous felonies.
And when you combine a fun and addictive gameplay loop, pun intended, and mix it with incredible attention to detail in everything that surrounds it, the game is bound to gain some attention. But it's more than that. Beyond the pure...
With other words, in this game is love in there. The deal to make this game had enough for gaming, so he makes this game have some think about it, who he can make it at the best, and develop this game, and it's gonna be a fucking hit. And then there's Ubisoft, who the CEOs always money horny, so
the fun that this game brings. The most impressive aspect about this game has nothing to do with the game itself, but the making of it, because the entirety of this game was made by one single developer.
Games made by one guy, beating teams of 1,000 developers, tens of thousands if we're gonna count Ubisoft.
And imagine this. Imagine. If one man can make this kind of game, how broken the AAA gaming industry actually are. I don't really look, in my opinion, I don't really look behind the scenes and what's happened there.
Ubisoft in this conversation.
The game's biggest strength when it comes to the virality that it has achieved is that right now, indie game developers are providing players with the best experience in the entire gaming industry. First of all, indie games are games developed independently of major publishers, meaning the indie game creators retain complete control over their projects. This means that although indie developers want their game to sell well to earn a living, because there isn't any pressure to make a giant return on investment, their greatest motivation is their passion for making games.
Indie developers...
And this is what the AAA gaming industry sadly forget about, to make good games and make the customer happy and have the passion for it. All these three things completely forget the Ubisoft, EA, Blizzard, Activision gaming bubble, and focus only on money, 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 money. It's so funny, and which man's world.
Can afford to be more player friendly because they don't have these investors hanging over their heads and these massive budgets.
And this is the first aspect in which indie games are doing right by gamers. Why players connect with this dynamic so much is that it adds a level of authenticity and personal touch to the playing experience. If a certain detail doesn't look the best, many other developers at bigger studios might have the attitude of good enough. But an indie developer who is passionate about what they're creating, they have the attitude of it needs to be better. And when it
and this is something what the big publisher not have this kind of freedom to make it better as they actually could. They will make only the basics, not even the basics. They make it's just like you. It's like they building a house, but only sending you the complete. The complete only the ground structure, but not the walls, not the floor, not the roof, not even the electrics or the pipes for water or gas or something like this. They only make this is what in their eyes is necessary, and the rest can make maybe be later. But if I will go in my house, I will sit with this and don't will waiting for some workers to finish this house later with some extra money.
The game is made from pure passion and has that attitude towards the game they make. Players can always feel it through the game's quality. Indie games also often rely on limited resources, but make up for it with bold ideas, innovative gameplay, and a willingness to take risks that bigger studios might shy away from. This allows new releases
Yes, because indie games, this is something what indie games could make, because they don't must appeal to literally every group and literally every group of gamers. They don't must fit for the for some anti-drug types who say drugs are bad. They don't will play this game either. Don't will play this game either. Or some people who are concerned about the safety, about science, they say, oh, fuck it. We will make this year, even if it's politically incorrect, and let the player have fun. But AAA studios must show that literally every group is happy with this game, and if you try to make everyone happy, no one gets beat.
Stay fresh, and they are able to push the boundaries of what is possible in games.
But like I said, AAA gaming has been in decline for some time. Meanwhile, indie games have become a spawning pool for creativity and imagination.
This constant movement and reinvention in indie games is what gamers love the most. Although sequels to successful games can also be very enjoyable, gamers will always yearn for new experiences. When an indie game can take a pre-existing genre and add a completely new twist on it, players will instantly be drawn to it. And on top of this personal, ever-evolving touch, indie games are just cheaper than their big-budget competitors.
Yep. Even if I don't can buy some because I'm completely broke at the moment. Yeah, I don't will talk about my financial situation, but yeah, technically these games are definitely more cheaper. And more available to people who don't have the money for that. For some 80 euro euro price tag games, they are and make so more fun or more available. It make more let people play more game, and and the next good thing is this game doesn't take too long, because I don't will play some games to take maybe 50 or 80 hours to finish this game. I will sometimes have a game that that has this length of maybe 7 or 12 hours maybe, but have some definitely more fun with that Then some AAA games who you go from A to B, and don't see really nothing new, but it's empty the roads. You know what I mean.
In recent years, the average price of AAA games
I think
has
you know what I mean.
skyrocketed, whereas indie game prices have relatively remained the same. And in the middle of a cost of living crisis, no gamer wants to be spending more than $100 on a single game. So when an indie game is more personal, more innovative, and is 80% cheaper than other games in their space, then it's no wonder why indie games are filling up players' Steam libraries. Okay, although the case for their success is strong, by no means are they perfect. I mean, what makes Schedule 1 such a surprise is that it is so well made right off the bat. Indie developers are aware of how difficult it is to make an enjoyable game. So instead of banking their success on a first release, a common practice is to first release the game in early access.
And yeah, this is something early access is hot topic. But for indie games to have a price tag of maybe €20 or something like that, in this price class, who you pay for a not complete finished version, but you can give the developer some advices or something like this, to make the game better is good. But if a AAA studio make early access to make an excuse to, oh, this game isn't finished, but the whole game costs €70. So technically you pay a full price early access, but must later pay again €70 to play the full game. So technically you pay not €70, you pay €140 for a technically complete unfinished game.
And why is a roguelite indie game about escaping hell over and over sounds simple, but play just so perfect? It's not because these indie developers are the most talented or have oodles of cash on hand. It's because they did one thing and one thing only. They followed the fun. That game about escaping hell over and over is the breakout phenomenon Hades. And I can't think of a game or a game studio more focused than them on following the fun. Why? Because Supergiant Games spent 2 years with Hades in early access, making sure every detail of the game was what the community wanted. Hades creative director Greg Kasavin said this about its 2-year early access. With Hades, we identified that we wanted to make an early access game first and foremost to see what we could build in partnership with our community.
Although Schedule 1 feels so complete, their first release in March was also early access. This gives developers a period to gain feedback from their audience. From that feedback, they can then fix bugs, add some features, and pretty much do anything that is required to improve the player experience. When a developer is making every decision with the mindset of, can I make it better for the player? The result will always be the best game possible. And that kind of bookends the biggest reason why indie games are winning right now. All these decisions that go into the game's development and release are all made to serve one party. The most important party. The player.
Us gamers really only want one thing. To play a fun game alone.
Yeah. Alone or with friends or other people who you call it mostly son of a bitch or something else if you play Call of Duty and get split all the time and have some issues for some rampages on school. Yeah, but mostly, games are there to have fun, not to being fucked up.
Or with our buddies. And indie studios really understand this concept because they're gamers too. Indie studios these days are reminiscent of Hero or the original Bungie team. Solo or small team developers who are focused on building something they or their community actually want to play.
Yeah, and the player first, then the game gets bite, and the game makes money. Not with you must buy this game even so if you buy this game you're racist, or if you buy this game as there are only Hogwarts Legacy who people get harassed because they will play this game, and then who a small minority since they are the big picture, but they only one frame of that and crying about everything.
The game design, the mechanics, the lore, Even the price point of all indie games share the common goal of making the player experience better. That is why indie games are doing so well in the gaming industry right now. But that's not the full story. To be fair, indie games have always had this approach, so that's not the main reason why they are blowing up right now. This explosion of indie success is less to do with the indies themselves, but more their big budget competitors. AAA games. A AAA game simply refers to games that cost the most to develop and market, likening them to blockbusters of the game.
Yeah, and sometimes, in my opinion, to make maybe 1 or 2 AAA games in a year, it's okay. This is what studios can handle, but big studios like EA or Ubisoft make yearly technically some AAA games, and you see that what have the you see the quality of the skins or the lack of quality. What is the definition of a broken dildo? And yeah, I would say, in my opinion, make from time to time a AAA game. This is okay. Like a Rockstar, you can say about GTA Online what you say, but this is a good way to make money to develop at the moment. GTA 6, but they but Rockstar gives them some time for this game to make the best quality of this game what this game could have, and in this way, even Rockstar cares about the over their stockholders. They think about in the same way over the players. So because they know if GTA if GTA 6 flops, the studio can have some irreversible damage on their image that they must have here that they could plan. So they must deliver what the players want. It's not what the stockholders or the investors want. And yeah, Cyberpunk is a good example. This game came technically, it came and pre-alpha out. So
industry. Some popular AAA games include Red Dead Redemption 2, Cyberpunk 2077, and Zelda, which all
yeah, so I played here earlier too myself for a couple of time ago. It's actually a very, very short, fun game, and in my opinion, it wasn't broken. I must play this again, maybe sometime it's stream again, but this game took over 100 hours, so maybe if I had some more time for streaming.
Budgets of $100 million or more. In fact, if your game costs more than $100 million in 2025, chances are it's going to be a flop. So even with $100 million worth of resources to make the best game possible, how can AAA games continue to underperform? Firstly, a common approach taken by AAA studios is the open world design. Since the open world mechanic first gained popularity, every AAA studio has attempted their own open world game to get in on the action. And for a time, this was successful. But with each new release, open worlds needed to improve on the previous. AAA studios interpreted improvement.
And at some point, you can top the last big open world of your games anymore. So I say, take for example RDR2 and GTA 6. They are from the same studio, and RDR2 has made so high expectations over open world game that GTA 6 was really delivered, and studios like EA or Ubisoft doesn't deliver anymore, and so they gonna make flop.
As being bigger. So with each new release, the virtual world the player inhabits got bigger and bigger and bigger, to a point where now open worlds are bigger than ever.
Then on the flip side of that, if we were to now look at a load of the open world games that have come out over this time span, you'll see that a lot of them are fairly shallow. They have an open world that you can explore, but why explore something with no depth? But in the example of AC Valhalla, where it's a 70+ hour-long game, the open world actually does need to start being good. The story can't hold it up for 70 hours of the player's time, and even that wasn't that good in Valhalla. So because of the issue of shallowness, you end up with games like Valhalla that end up leaving a bad taste in your mouth for loads of these sorts.
Yeah. An empty, you doesn't need an empty open world game. So for me, the example was Need for Speed Payback. This has a complete area where there is nothing in there. I mean, literally nothing. Nothing to searching, nothing to find. No crash marks, crash marker points. No, nothing. Just complete empty. This area, and this is. You will have, if you have an open world, you will feel this open world somehow.
You're feeling as if you're being dragged through the game, and that playing them is nothing more than a chore.
If a player enters a virtual world that doesn't feel alive and lived in, then they will struggle to immerse themselves completely. Every location they visit will feel like a copy and paste of the previous, which is a feeling that is also present in their overall creative direction. Take a look at this graph. It shows the top AAA games of 2024.
Let's look. 2024. Call of Duty, Black Ops 6. Not an open world, I think. EA Sports, College Football 25. Not an open world game. Half-Life 2, single open world. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I don't know. NBA 2K 2025. Not an open world. Madden NFL, not an open world. Modern Warfare 3, from 2023, not an open world. EA Sports FC, not an open world. Elden Ring, open world. Hey, Hogwarts Legacy, open world. Dragon's Dogma 2, open world. WWE 2K 2024, open, not an open world. And MBL The Show 2024, not an open world. GTA 5, open world. Minecraft, is this even a AAA game? This was more an indie game. This, yeah, I don't give a fuck, but somehow an open world. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Semi-open world, I think. I don't know. Tekken 8, not an open world. Marvel Spider-Man 2, open world. NBA, yeah, not an open world. So we have I count this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 open world games from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 games. So not competing, less than the half are open world games. So I would say so.
Now you might notice a pattern. Of these top AAA games, many of them are either sequels or additions to pre-existing IP. Franchises like Madden, Call of Duty, and NBA 2K are all notorious for releasing a new game every year that is just a carbon copy of the previous.
Gamers are tired of playing the same thing. We are tired of the formulaic nature of Ubisoft and most other AAA games.
Releasing the game every year but with a slightly noticeable difference is not conducive to a rewarding player experience. And it's important that I mention that this does work financially. In fact, the financial side of AAA games is exactly why they continue to reuse the copy and paste model. Because AAA studios' idea of a successful game is completely different to that of indie games.
Why force your devs to work
on So AAA games, in my opinion, think making do it however it does is the best way because customers buy it either. What is to set the points right, but at some point you must create something new in your game and not make every year the same game with some little bit better graphics. This is at some point of moral and selling point. This is a point we say, fuck this game, I buy some indie games, maybe with cheaper graphics, but with more play fun, you know?
100th Assassin's Creed when they want to work on something new and exciting. The answer? Stability and money. This may be obvious to everyone, but milking an IP over and over again is the easiest way to make money as an entertainment company.
With each game released being more expensive.
Same in Hollywood. You're making Fast and Furious to the point you think, is this a Transformers or a Marvel movie or some other kind of bullshit? I mean, Fast and Furious starting as an dirty underground street racing movie, like Need for Speed, and now in Fast and Furious we flying to the Mars or something like this. I mean, hello, is this a movie about cars or some space exploration or something like this? And have every time the same formula could be completely lazy at some time and annoying too. And this is why I personally think it's AA. We need more AA games like here, what I played for a year ago. RoboCop Rogue City, this is an AA game, definitely. And it makes some fun. It doesn't have to have the best graphic, but this game will appeal to the actual RoboCop fans, and I'm one of these RoboCop fans. I mean, look my model here. Hello. And this is. But if you make this like Ubisoft, every year the same game, the player base would say at some point, go fuck yourself.
It's important that AAA games take every opportunity to make the most money possible to provide a profit for the studio's investors. So this means that every decision made when it comes to the making of the game, whether it be the design, mechanics, or IP, their goal is to make the most money possible. The biggest reason why this way of thinking is disliked.
As a motto, put down the play fun, put up the monetary, put down the gaming fun, and turn on the money part.
Is because it is all at the expense of the player experience. When the world is bigger and blander than ever, that isn't always good for the player. When the content of a new game is almost identical to the previous, that isn't always best for the player. And when a player purchases a game for $100 and then is
I don't
pay another $30 to access everything the game has, that isn't always best for the player. The biggest reason for
it's the best for the investors, but definitely not for the player.
Underperformance in recent years is not necessarily to do with the IP, game design, or cost. It is that what the player perceives as important in a game and what AAA studios perceive as important are not aligned. Players want the best game possible, whereas AAA studios want the best return possible. The question now following Schedule 1 stardom is if it will cause any change within the gaming industry. Well, for AAA studios to change their approach in any regard, the change has to create a monetary gain that they
But we are now, this change is very fucking slow. The investors are mostly due to dropping play games. How many this are in the mostly these investors are some CEOs who survive Stalingrad, and if you so old you doesn't play games, obviously.
Are currently capitalizing on. That has been a big reason for why they have been so stagnant in this period of dissatisfaction from gamers. Although the perceived quality of each release is decreasing, AAA titles are making more money than ever before. So the only way a change happens is if it makes the big studios more money. As for indie games, they will most likely continue to be the beacon for reinvention and creativity.
For every bad AAA game released, 10 great indie games are released simultaneously.
But the thing is, not every indie game, and this is actually a good thing, is not for every player. And this, the second thing is, indie games doesn't have the opportunity to make big marketing campaigns like some big AAA studios.
Why is the Untitled Goose Game the best stealth game I've ever played?
Hey!
Really?
I'll just take this.
That is what makes indie games so special. A game like Schedule 1 that challenges industry norms can rise above all the manicured AAA titles and take the top spot on a global scale. Indie games are and will continue to act as trailblazers. And if indie games continue to surpass their AAA competitors more consistently, then it might force AAA studios to pay attention. If AAA really is to change, then the path they take needs to be laid by indie games that achieve global success. One of the biggest examples of this is Minecraft. It's easy to forget that Minecraft...
Yes, this is what I mean before. Minecraft is actually not a AAA game. This is an indie game. Maybe the best-selling game of all time, but this is an indie game.
An indie game. Although now under the Microsoft umbrella, Minecraft was originally developed by a small team at Mojang Studios. It was first released in 2010 in Alpha, an early access period, and it eventually grew more and more. Fan communities for the game grew to the point where they were able to host a convention to celebrate the launch of the full game in late 2011. And like it is today, this was a once-in-a-blue-moon event where an independent release takes over the online world. Minecraft achieved this by doing the same thing as indie games do today. While most AAA games at the time were self-contained win-lose archetypes, Minecraft turned that format on its head. The game had no story, no instructions, just a near infinite open world sandbox and the player's imagination. Becoming the most successful game of all time, it broke the mold for what players could enjoy in a game. So the key takeaway from Schedule 1's success is that it perfectly illustrates the power that the player holds within the gaming industry. The passion and enthusiasm for a quality gaming experience is what drives progress within the gaming industry. Without the player, the industry ceases to exist. If AAA titles are losing their quality, players will be there to let studios know. And when an indie game provides one of the most fun playing experiences in recent years, gamers will always be there to push it further into the limelight.
Word for good last word. So, what is your opinion on this kind? So you heard mine, but I'm really interested on your opinion. So write it down below in the comments, and I would say see you in the next video. Oh, by the way, link in the description.